Hi everyone. Hope you all are good. We are here for grade 7 math. You can find all the lessons on aplusstudents.com. You have to log in there using your email address and password as provided by the administrator. Then you have to select math from the subject tab. Scroll down to grade 7 math and then click on view all lessons. There you can find the list of the chapters. We're going to start with the chapter Pythagorean theorem. So please make sure you have your notebook and pencil so that you can note down the important examples and definitions as well. 7 math chapter we are on right now is Pythagorean theorem. Let's just start with the lesson, that is Pythagorean theorem. Find the length of hypotenuse. So what is Pythagorean theorem? And when we are going to use the Pythagorean theorem? Right triangle means the one in which one of the angle measures exactly 90 degree, right? The Pythagorean theorem states sum of the other two sides, sum of the squares of the other two sides must equal to the. So in the right triangle, we are given two sides, right? 6 kilometer and 8 kilometer. We need to find the longest side, right? That is the hypotenuse. Hypotenuse is always the longest one in the triangle. So the Pythagorean theorem states c square equals a square plus b square. That means the hypotenuse square is equal to the sum of the squares of the other two sides, right? So just put up the values. 6 squares plus 8 square equals c square. That is 36 plus 64 is 100. So we need to calculate the square root both sides. So 6 is equal to c is equal to 10. Okay, let's just start with the test questions. The longest leg length is always the hypotenuse in the triangle, right? Right triangle. That is the side that is just in front of the right angle. Here is the right angle. This is the right angle. The side that is opposite to right angle is the hypotenuse. C is the hypotenuse, so that is c square is equal to a square plus b square. That is 3 square plus 4 square. That is 9 plus 16. So 16 plus 9 is. That is 148 yards square, option number. Okay, we need to find the c. That is c square equals 144. So we need to calculate square root both sides. So c is equal to. Wait, 16 plus 9 is 25. That is just 25. So we can write 25 as 5 times 5. So C is equal to 5. Option number 2 is the correct option. That is 5. What is the length of hypotenuse? That is the sum of the squares of the other two sides. So C square is equal to 3 square plus 16 square. 3 square is 9 and 4 square is 16. Then that would be C square equals square root 25. So C is equal to 5. The correct option is 5. The correct option is 5. Option number 2 is the correct option. So let's just calculate the hypotenuse. That is C square is equal to 6 square plus 8 square. 6 square is 36, 8 square is 64. Together they make 100. So C is equal to, which is the correct option? C is equal to 10. The correct option is 10. Option number 2 is the correct option. What is the length of the hypotenuse? That is again the same one, I think. 10 it is, or I forgot to select the right option actually. Okay, what is the length of the hypotenuse? So let's just calculate the hypotenuse. We need to do C square is equal to A square plus B square. That is 3 square plus 4 square. 3 square is 9, 4 square is 16. So C square equals C 9 plus 16. So C is equal to 5. Option number 1 is the correct option. That is very good. 5 it is. Option number 1 is the correct option. That is 5. Okay, we are done with the lesson. Let's just move on to next lesson. Pythagorean, find the missing leg length. So up till now we are just calculating the C value of C, right? The value of hypotenuse. Now we are going to learn if any of them is missing. How do we find the third person, right? Okay, so what is the length of the missing leg if hypotenuse is 5 millimeter and the base is 4? So you are given the hypotenuse now, right? Let me just make the right triangle. That is 6. Wait, the hypotenuse is 5, the base is 4. So that is c square is equal to a square plus b square. We are given the c. That is 5 square equals a square plus 4 square. So a square is equal to 25 minus 16. That is 9. So we need to evaluate square root both sides. So a is equal to 3. So the correct option is 3. Got it? Okay, when the hypotenuse is given, to calculate the missing side, we add or subtract. When the hypotenuse is given, to find the missing side, we subtract. The correct option is subtract. What is the length of the missing leg if the hypotenuse is 5 millimeter and the base is. So we need to find the missing leg length. We are given the hypotenuse, that is 5. That is 5 and 4. So we need to find the missing side length. So that is c square is equal to a square plus b square, right? That is 5 square equals 4 square plus b square. 25, we need to move 4 other sides. 25 minus 16 is 9. So we need to calculate b square is equal to square root. 25 minus 16 is 9. So B is equal to 3. Option number 2 is the correct option. That is 3. What is the length of the missing leg? So which is the correct option? So let's just calculate the missing leg length. We are given the hypotenuse, that is 5. That is 5 square equals a square plus 4 square. So a square is equal to 25 minus 16. That is again 9. You can see the length of the longest leg length is always the hypotenuse in the right triangle. Got it? So the correct option is 3. Option number 2 is the correct option. So c square equals a square plus b square. C is 10. 10 square equals a square plus 6 square. So a square is equal to 100 minus 36. Wait. Okay, so we need to calculate square root both sides. A is equal to 8. So the correct option is option number 1, that is 8. The height of a triangle is 6 miles and the hypotenuse is 10 miles. What is the length of the base? That is okay. C square, the hypotenuse is 10. 10 square, 6 square equals B. 100 minus 64. So which is the correct option? That is 36. So B is equal to 6. Got it? So that means the length of the base is 6 miles. Option number 2 is the correct option. So B is equal to 6. Option number 2 is the correct option. Hmm. Wait. Oh, 6 square is 36. So 10 minus 6 is 4. 9 minus 3 is 6. So yes, 8 it is. The correct option is 8. Option number 1 is the correct option. That is 8. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson. The next lesson is okay, Pythagorean theorem word problems. Okay, you can do word problems in your own right. The converse of the Pythagorean theorem is that a triangle has the side lengths of 9 feet, 12 feet, and 15 feet. So, how do we solve? We know that the right triangles is in the right triangle, the Pythagorean theorem is c square equals a square plus b square, right? So, the longest line length is always the hypotenuse. So, that is 12 square equals the So how do we prove if it's a right triangle? The longest length is always the hypotenuse, right? So that would be 15 square is equal to 9 square plus 12 square. So the sum of 9 square plus 12 square equals 225, and on the other side the c square is also 225. So both sides are exactly equal, then that means it is a right triangle. Okay, let's just start with the test questions. A triangle has side lengths of 7 millimeter, 13 millimeters, and 14 millimeters. Is it a right triangle? So the longest side is the hypotenuse side. So keep it on the one side. 14 square is equal to 7 square plus 13 square, right? 14 square equals 256. No, yes, I think. Wait, let me do the calculations. 14 times 14, that is 196. Okay, 7 times 7 is 49, and 13 square is 169. Let's just add 9 plus 9 is 18, 6 and 4, 10 and 1, 11. So see, both sides are not equal, right? That means that given measurements are, the given one is not the right triangle. Got it? Now let's just start with the test questions. No, that is not a right triangle. Okay, our triangle has the side lengths of 7 yards, 17 yards, and 18 yards. Is it a right triangle? So the longest one is the hypotenuse. So that is 18 square equals 17 square plus 7 square. So 18 square equals 324, and then 17 square is equal to 289. plus 9 times 9 is 49. So 299 plus 49 is 299 plus 49, that is 348. So both sides are not equal. So that means no, that is not a right triangle. Got it? The correct option is no, that is not a right triangle. A triangle has the side lengths of 6 centimeter, 11 centimeter, and 16 centimeter. Is it a right triangle? Okay, so that is 11 square, sorry, 16 square is equal to 11 square plus 6 square, right? That is 121 plus 36, and 16 square is, that is 256. Now let's just add 6 and 1, 7, 5, 1. So they are not equal. That means no, that is not the right triangle. Got it? Oh, I selected the wrong option. The answer is no. A triangle has the side lengths of 7 miles, 17 miles, and 19 miles. Is it a right triangle? So 19 square is equal to 17 square plus 7 square. So 19 square is equal to 361. Wait. Okay, 19 square is equal to 17 square plus 7 square. So 19 square is 361. 17 square equals 289 plus 121. So 361 is equal to, no, they are not equal. So the correct option is no. The measurement, that means the given measurement is not for the right triangle. The correct option is no. Our triangle has the side lengths of 7 feet, 14 feet, and 17 feet. Is it a right triangle? So 17 square, 17 is the hypotenuse, 17 square equals 14 square plus 7 square. So 17 square is 289. 14 square is, I think, 256. No, 196. 14 times 14, yes, 196. And plus 7 times 7 is 49. So no, the correct option is no, that is not a right triangle. Option number 1 is the correct option. A triangle has the side lengths of 8 centimeter, 14 centimeter, and 16 centimeter. Is it a right triangle? So that would be 16 square. 16 square is equal to 14 square plus 8 square. That is 256. 14 square is 196 plus 8 times 8 is 64. So 196 plus 64, that is 260. So both sides are not equal. So that means that isn't the right angle triangle. Okay, so that is the correct option is no. Our triangle has a side lengths of 14 kilometers, 16 kilometers, and 20 kilometers. Is it a right triangle? So let's just see if that is the right triangle. So 20 is the hypotenuse, so that is 20 square equals 14 square plus 16 square. 20 square is 400. 14 square is, that is 196 plus 36. So 400 is not equal to 232. So the correct option is no. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. So we were working on grade 7 math. Chapter we were working on is Pythagorean theorem. The lessons we have covered from the chapter are Pythagorean theorem, find the length of the hypotenuse. Pythagorean theorem, find the leg length. Word problems you have to do on your own. Converse of the Pythagorean theorem, is it a right triangle? So please make sure before the next session you can complete all the practice questions for the lessons we just did. That is your homework until next. So if you need more help with any of the lessons, or either you can write them down in the chat box. I'm here to answer all your questions and no questions. Yes, you can ask question. You can ask question. Hello, you there? Okay,